How Temu can sell products for $2. How can Temu sell products for $2 when shipping them across the world already seems like it should cost more than $2? A phone case for $1.50. A kitchen gadget for $2. Sunglasses for $3. At first, it looks impossible. If a traditional retailer tried to sell products at these prices, it would probably lose money. So how does Temu do it? The answer is not one secret trick. It is a combination of cheap manufacturing, enormous scale, a different retail model, aggressive marketing, and a business built around volume rather than traditional retail margins. And the most interesting part is this. Temu does not necessarily need to make much money from the $2 product you buy. Temu was launched in the United States in September 2022 by PDD Holdings, the Chinese technology company behind Pinduoduo. PDD already had years of experience connecting Chinese merchants and manufacturers with millions of consumers. Temu took that model global. Instead of building thousands of physical stores, Temu created an online marketplace connecting consumers directly with merchants, manufacturers, and brands. And that changes the economics. Imagine a traditional product. A factory makes it for $1. Then it goes through an exporter, importer, distributor, wholesaler, and retailer. Every step adds another margin. By the time the product reaches a store, that $1 item may need to sell for $8 or $10 just to cover everyone's costs and profit. Temu tries to remove many of those layers. A seller can list a product directly on Temu. A customer orders it through the app. The product enters a fulfillment and logistics network and is shipped to the customer. PDD says Temu helps merchants streamline manufacturing and commercial operations, which can reduce costs and waste. But there is another major factor. Scale. Temu doesn't need to sell one product. It needs to sell millions. A factory producing 100 units has very different economics from a factory producing 1 million. Huge production volumes can reduce the cost of each individual unit. Temu brings millions of buyers to a huge number of merchants. More buyers attract more sellers. More sellers create more products. More products create more competition. More competition pushes prices down. Lower prices attract more buyers. It becomes a giant loop. And this is where Temu's real advantage appears. It isn't simply an online store. It is a marketplace. Temu doesn't have to manufacture every product itself. The merchants do that. Temu provides the platform, customer traffic, technology, marketing, and transaction services. And that brings us to the real question. Where does Temu make its money? Many people assume the company must make a big profit on every $2 product. It doesn't work that way. PDD Holdings says its revenue primarily comes from online marketing services and transaction services provided to third-party merchants. In simple terms, sellers pay the platform. They can pay for transaction-related services. They can also pay for advertising and product placement so their products appear in front of more shoppers. Imagine you are a small manufacturer in China. You can sell on your own website, but nobody knows you exist. Or you can sell on Temu, where millions of potential customers are already browsing. Suddenly, the platform becomes extremely valuable. And if you want your product to get more attention, you have another reason to spend money on the platform. Temu, therefore, doesn't need to own every product. It needs to own the customer traffic. Now we get to one of Temu's most controversial strategies. Extremely low prices. A cheap product can be a customer acquisition tool. Temu gets someone to download the app because they see a $2 product. That customer may not stop at one purchase. They browse. They discover hundreds of other products. They place another order. And another. The cost of acquiring that customer can then be spread across future purchases. Temu also uses coupons, limited time offers, rewards, discounts, and free shipping promotions to encourage people to keep browsing and buying. The cheap product gets your attention. The platform tries to turn that attention into repeated purchases. And Temu has spent enormous amounts to grow. PDD Holdings spent approximately 125.3 billion renminbi, or about $17.9 billion, on sales and marketing in 2025. That included advertising, promotions, and coupons designed to increase user growth and engagement. This tells us something important. Temu isn't simply trying to maximize profit on every transaction. It is investing heavily in acquiring customers and increasing activity on the platform. Once customers become active, there are more opportunities to earn money from merchants through advertising and transaction services. This is a classic platform strategy. Grow the audience first, then monetize the ecosystem around that audience. But there is still a huge question. What about shipping? How can you sell a $2 product and send it from China to a customer thousands of kilometers away? Scale matters again. Temu works with logistics vendors and fulfillment partners around the world. Instead of every individual seller building an international logistics operation, Temu can connect sellers to a broader network. Millions of orders moving through one system can make logistics more efficient. That does not mean shipping a $2 product is free. It isn't. It means the entire platform is designed to make the economics work at enormous scale. And not every individual product has to be highly profitable. The platform is optimizing the entire customer relationship. Why would sellers agree to such low prices? Because many of them are manufacturers or are very close to manufacturing. For them, direct access to millions of consumers can be extremely valuable. They may accept a smaller profit per item if they can sell enormous quantities. Imagine making 30 cents on one product. That sounds terrible, but 30 cents on 1 million products is $300,000. That is the power of volume. And Temu is designed to create volume. So is Temu actually profitable? Here we need to be precise. PDD Holdings is profitable as a company. In 2025, PDD Holdings reported approximately 431.8 billion renminbi, or $61.8 billion, in total revenue, and about 97.8 billion renminbi, or $14 billion, in net income. But those figures are for PDD Holdings as a whole, which includes Pinduoduo and Temu. The company does not report Temu as a standalone segment with its own separate profit and loss statement. So we should not claim that every $2 Temu product is profitable. The important point is that the broader platform can generate revenue from merchants through advertising and transaction services while using low prices and heavy marketing to grow the ecosystem. And this is the part most people miss. Temu isn't really selling you a $2 gadget. It is selling you a shopping experience built around extremely low prices. The cheap product gets your attention. The app gets you browsing. The huge selection keeps you there. Promotions encourage you to buy. Your purchases create sales for merchants. Merchants pay Temu for services and advertising. More merchants create more selection. More selection attracts more customers. And the cycle continues. That is the business. The $2 product is only the visible part. Behind it is a massive marketplace connecting manufacturers, merchants, logistics providers, and consumers. PDD's total revenue increased from about 247.6 billion renminbi in 2023 to 393.8 billion renminbi in 2024 and 431.8 billion renminbi in 2025. Temu itself launched only in 2022. In just a few years, it became a global platform operating across major markets in North America, Europe, Asia, and other regions. So the next time you see something on Temu selling for $2, don't just ask, how can they possibly make money on this? Ask a different question. Why do they want me to buy this for $2? Because the real value may not be the product. It may be the customer, the merchant, the next purchase, and the entire marketplace built around that tiny transaction. That's how Temu can sell products for $2.